Wu Dong, an art school teacher who has been wandering around the bathing center for years, has been reborn. Reviving his life, he doesn't want to mix with the bathhouse anymore. He wants to mix with the entertainment industry. Keywords of the novel. Rebirth 2002. Free life with no pop-ups, Rebirth 2002. Free life. Download the complete TXT collection, Rebirth 2002. Free life. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Let Things Go, for collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 2. Art School, for collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Art School, seeking collection. The New Century Art School has strict requirements for it. The male teacher wears a navy blue suit and a red and blue tie. The leather shoes should be polished well, and the tie should not be loose in hot weather. The female teacher is a professional suit, with a blue and white shirt, a black and gray small suit, a knee-length skirt, shredded meat, black high heels, and no requirement for tying a bow tie. Wu Dong pushed the door in, and the female teacher inside was busy putting on shoes. The female teacher leaned slightly, her eyes confused, and said, "Are you?" Wu Dong walked up to the table and handed over the employment agreement. "Hello, I'm Wu Dong, the new teacher this year." The female teacher took the employment agreement and glanced at it, then immediately stood up and said, "Teacher Wu, welcome, I am Zhang Na." A slender and tender little hand reached out to Wu Dong's eyes. "Hello Teacher Zhang." Wu Dong politely shook it and immediately released it. "Teacher Wu, please take a seat first. I'll make a phone call and talk to Director Li." "Okay." Wu Dong heard the words and sat on the reception sofa at the door. Zhang Na didn't call immediately. She brewed a cup of tea for Wu Dong first. "Teacher Wu, you drink water." "Oh, thank you." Wu Dong stood up and took the disposable cup handed over by Zhang Na. I didn't have much contact with Zhang Na before, but it was only when I heard her name that Wu Dong remembered it. Zhang Na picked up the landline with her back to Wu Dong. She was also inexperienced in the world, and her posture of bending over and raising her hips posed a challenge to the man behind her. The female teacher's back was charming, but Wu Dong dared not stare. He turned his head and looked around. After his divorce in his previous life, he often wandered around foot baths and shower centers. Greasy middle-aged and simple college students were far from each other. During the 2 months he helped his mother keep an eye on the store, he received a lot of slaps from her because he unconsciously focused on female clients. Wu Dong learned a lesson, and once again, he wanted to maintain the image of a righteous gentleman, and his words and actions should conform to the identity of a college graduate. He doesn't come to the HR department often, and it's hard to tell what changes have been made to the layout of the room over the years. However, looking out from here, not far from the window is the basketball court. The basketball court is still made of concrete, and I forgot which year it was replaced with plastic flooring with better shock absorption. I got it. Alright, Li, are you busy?" Zhang Na turned around and said, "Teacher Wu, did Li inform you about the work arrangements before?" "Well, what I mentioned earlier was that I was responsible for maintaining the computer room in the network center." Strictly speaking, Wu Dong can be considered an administrative staff member, but since he works at school, he is said to be a teacher to the public. Because you graduated from Jichuan Normal University and have a second-grade Mandarin and a teaching qualification certificate, Director Li's suggestion is for you to take on the information course again, with 4 classes per week. Do you think so? Wu Dong looked directly at Zhang Na's face and smiled. "No problem, I'll follow the school's arrangements." This is the same as in his previous life. Wu Dong didn't care, and the information classes in art schools were like high school music and art classes, neither listened to nor managed. No one cares about what the teacher says, and the content is casual. The little girl below chatters and sometimes even teases the young male teacher. Wu Dong prepared carefully for class in the first semester and later talked freely. Being stared at by Wu Dong, Zhang Na blushed slightly, but looking at Wu Dong's calm gaze, she immediately felt relieved and said, "There is one more thing, Li's office allows you to decide for yourself, which is the issue of accommodation. The male dormitory happens to lack a dormitory manager, not a gatekeeper, or living in the dormitory every day. Students can come to you if they have anything to do. It is a single room that not only does not charge accommodation fees but also receives a monthly subsidy of 200 yuan. Another arrangement is to go to the school's apartment." Li said that Unit 302 of Unit 1 in Jiangwo community is still available. Originally, a 60 square meter apartment was arranged for 2 people, but now the male teacher only has you. You can live alone for now, but the monthly accommodation fee will be deducted by 100 in his previous life. Wu Dong chose to work as a dormitory manager. After all, there was a difference of 300. For Wu Dong, who only had a monthly living allowance of 200 during his university years, it was not difficult to choose. Jiangwo community is located in front of Lijiado, about 5 miles away from the school. It takes about 20 minutes to walk. Wu Dong used to work as a dormitory manager for a year and then lived in Jiangwo community for another year. 2 years later, it will be the housing reform, and the school will completely ignore the accommodation of the teachers, and all the apartments under the school's name will be disposed of. This time it's different. Wu Dong said straightforwardly, "I like a bit of freedom. I'll go to Jiangwo community." Zhang Na seemed a bit surprised, and she glanced again. Wu Dong's attire showed that his financial situation was very ordinary, and it should be said that it was bad. The cheap sports shoes were still old. With a slight shock, Zhang Na immediately smiled and said, "Okay, the key is right with me. Where did you leave your luggage? I'll drive you there." "Oh, I left my luggage at the guard. Could you please give me the address so that I can take the key and go there by myself, so I won't cause you any trouble?" Zhang Na smiled and said, "It's okay. I'm on duty here and have nothing to do, just sit quietly for a day. I can take the opportunity to go out and relax while I see you off." After Zhang Na finished speaking with a smile, she dug out the key from the drawer and handed it to Wu Dong. "Let's go." "Okay." Wu Dong took the key and followed Zhang Na out of the office. Click click click. In the quiet corridor, there was only the crisp sound of high heels hitting the ground. If you come out of the corridor and turn left for over 300 meters, you will find the parking lot. As noon approached, the temperature had already risen and the sun was scorching the earth. In the open campus, only Wu Dong and Zhang Na walked towards the parking lot one after another. Wu Dong can run over quickly, but he needs to accommodate Zhang Na who is wearing high heels. "Teacher Wu, are you a northerner who is not accustomed to the high temperature here?" Wu Dong smiled and said, "Teacher Zhang, why don't you just call me Wu Dong? Don't keep bothering me, it's too awkward." Zhang Na pursed her lips and smiled, "Haha, I'm used to it." Zhang Na has a green mini car that looks like QQ. Wu Dong remembered that she would switch to a Beetle in the future, and eventually drove a Mercedes-Benz. He also heard that she married a small boss. Wu Dong's parents are farmers who work in the city. After more than a decade of hard work, they have only opened a small supermarket. The living expenses of Wu Dong University are 200 yuan per month. If it weren't for the 80 yuan meal allowance provided by the government to normal university, Wu Dong wouldn't even be able to eat enough. After working for 5 years, Wu Dong was introduced to marry his ex-wife. Her family background was average, and she was also the daughter of a farmer in a city village. Her ex-wife also had a younger sister, making the two families a perfect match. Later, my ex-wife's house was demolished. There are so many beautiful female teachers in school, and even a few who are a bit interested in Wu Dong, but Wu Dong has never had the idea of finding a wife among his colleagues. Whether it's singing, dancing, playing the piano, or painting, which are not hobbies that burn money, female teachers in this industry have good family conditions. From the depths of his heart, he was still a bit insecure back then. Coming from a humble background is not a shame. Only by being able to bend and stretch can one become a husband. This is Wudong's lifelong realization. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Making Money, Seeking Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Making Money, Seeking Collection. In Wudong's lifetime, the most frequent passengers were buses, and the second was the train, which was lined up with 3 hoppers and reverse-riding donkeys. Opportunities to take private cars were rare. It's only a 5-minute drive to Jiangwo community by car. This is an open community with 2 doors, west and north. An open community has doors but never closes, allowing vehicles and pedestrians to enter and exit at will. Compared to rural areas, it has an additional wall and is more densely populated, with no other differences. The community is not large, with more than 20 small buildings with 4 or 5 floors, and 7 or 8 farmer villas. QQ car parked in front of a unit door. Teacher Wu, that's it here. Unit 1 is the first building on the right side of the north gate of the community, which is not the one Wudong lived in his previous life. Although he was a recent college graduate, his demeanor revealed a mature and experienced demeanor that should not have appeared on him, which made Zhang Na a little curious. Zhang Na tried to help Wudong with her luggage but was stopped by Wudong. No, it's a bit heavy. I'll do it myself. Zhang Na smiled slightly and said, okay, then I'll take you up and accompany you around to familiarize yourself with the surrounding environment. Wudong thought to himself, Teacher Zhang, if you have anything to do, go ahead and get busy. I've been on the train all day, so I won't go shopping. Oh, well then, Teacher Wu, take a good rest. There hasn't been much to do these days. Our administrative staff will officially start work at 8 a.m. on the 24th. If there's anything you need, just give me a call. Zhang Na took out a Motorola phone and hesitated for a moment. Teacher Wu, do you have a phone? Wudong was very calm and said, no, just tell me. I'll write it down on paper and call you through a public phone if there's anything I need. Wudong took out a pen and paper from the interlayer of his backpack. Zhang Na drove away, and Wudong picked up his luggage and turned upstairs. 302, Wudong opened the door and entered the house. 2 keys, one to open the anti-theft door on the outside with an iron fence that is not fully enclosed, and the other to open the wooden door on the inside. The room is very clean. Zhang Na said she used to live with 2 female teachers, one of whom got married and moved out, while the other dared not live alone and became a dormitory manager. It seems that they cleaned carefully before moving out. The room is very spacious, without any household appliances. Oh no, there is an electric water heater in the bathroom, but I'm not sure if it can still be used. Both empty rooms only have hard beds, and there are 2 chairs, a small dining table, and a TV cabinet in the living room. Of course, there is no TV. Wudong checked around and found that there was no water or electricity, no internet or natural gas, and he didn't know if there was a cable TV. The cable TV he lived in his previous life was one he had opened himself. 302 is the western suite, looking at the layout. On the left side of the entrance is the kitchen, bathroom, and second bedroom. On the right side is the living room and master bedroom. The second bedroom faces south with good lighting, while the master bedroom faces north with ample space. Anyway, it was all on his own. Wudong moved his luggage to the master bedroom, made the bedding, and began to study the next steps. It doesn't matter if there's no natural gas, anyway I don't cook myself. I eat 3 meals a day in the cafeteria, and on weekends, I don't think there's a breakfast shop in the neighborhood. I still need to buy a TV. Although I haven't watched much TV for several years, it's because I have smartphones. Nowadays, Nokia and Motorola cannot replace the functions of a TV. Firewood, rice, oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, tea, clothing, food, housing, transportation, shopping, entertainment. Wudongzai carefully calculated the top 5 priorities. Heating quickly, a thermos bottle, a thermos cup, a mosquito net, and an electric fan. These small supermarkets in the community can all solve these problems, and the TV will talk about it tomorrow. With his ID card, bank card, and over 200 yuan in pocket money, Wu Dong locked his door and began to familiarize himself with the surrounding environment. I have lived in this community before, but my memory has long been blurred after 18 years. The unnamed breakfast shop, Li Ji's stuffed dumplings, Jinling roast duck, Zhang San spicy hot pot, Shuangfen barbecue, Kingaju, Pan's private dishes, Shaxian snacks are the most popular snacks all over the country. Eating is not a worry, there are nearly a dozen restaurants of all sizes. Oh, Guangming Internet Cafe, impressive. Despite being an unlicensed black internet cafe, it gave a majestic name. Agricultural Credit Cooperatives, ICBC branches, CCB ATMs, 3 small supermarkets, community health centers. Although sparrows are small, they have all 5 organs. As expected, Wu Dong easily found 2 lottery shops, one for lucky lottery and one for sports lottery. This sports lottery shop also has a competitive lottery project. It seems that experts have analyzed that the fewer lottery shops there are in developed areas of big cities, the more lottery shops there are in urban-rural fringe areas and economically underdeveloped areas. I don't know if it makes sense, but Wu Dong hasn't counted it yet. However, there is indeed a lottery shop in the urban village, and there are a total of 3 lottery shops in this area. There is a public phone right at the entrance of the small supermarket, with a piece of cardboard standing up next to it, crooked and written 10 cents per minute for local calls and 50 cents per minute for long-distance calls. I called home to report my safety. 0431, Dudu, hey, Mom, I'm Dongzi. I've already arrived at school, and there are dormitories in good schools. Whether something is lacking or not. There's nothing missing. I called you from the supermarket entrance. It's good if there's no shortage. Someone called and I'll take care of myself. Doodle doodle. Mom wanted to give a few more instructions, but someone wanted to make a phone call over there, so she had to quickly hang up. There was no rebirth, and Wu Dong did not carefully consider the butterfly effect. It doesn't matter if what he said is correct or not. If there are many strong-mouth guns, there is no time to verify them one by one. After being reborn, he had to face this problem and think carefully. There are hundreds of millions of butterflies in the Amazon rainforest, flapping their wings countless times a day. How many hurricanes only occur on Earth in a year? The impact must be there. It's definitely not as mysterious as it is said. There is not much difference between those foreign experts and domestic self-media, who will pay attention to them if they don't boast too much. The World Cup has come to an end, with a plethora of leagues and cup matches. As an old fan, veteran lottery fan, Wu Dong knows a lot about the results. There may be slight changes in the score, but the result usually does not change. After observing for months at 1.4, Wu Dong finally came to the conclusion that buying a football lottery according to his memory has a winning rate of 8.9%. This also includes his memory bias. So even though he only has a few thousand yuan in his pocket now, he still feels like he is a wealthy person. Wu Dong has set the principle of taking small steps, running quickly, and accumulating small victories as a major victory. It is said that buying lottery tickets is an IQ tax, divided into categories such as 6 plus 2 and Little Lotto. They definitely don't buy this thing. They don't even bother to disguise themselves. Wu Dong will buy familiar and memorable sessions, never buy too many, never sell too much, and over time, small goals are not a problem. How do you explain to your parents the source of this money? Dad, Mom, I have become a billionaire through years of buying lottery tickets, and in the future, you can enjoy happiness at home. As soon as Wu Dong said this, he could imagine what his mother would say. Ziaduzi, are you treating us two fools? End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Planning for the Future, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Planning for the Future, Seeking Collection. west gate of Jangwo Community, Sha County snacks, 1 duck gizzard, 2 soy egg, and a cage of steamed dumplings, 7 yuan. The duck gizzards are chewy but not stuffed. The soy egg are not loose. The steamed dumplings are delicious without any stuffing. They taste really good. After finishing lunch, I went to a small supermarket and went out to buy a few packages of Kangshuifu instant noodles in addition to the planned 5 items. It was a bit difficult to hold, but I finally got back to 302. I have been on the train for a day and a night, and although I am a sleeper, I still feel a bit tired. From sleeping around 12 o'clock until the sky gradually darkened, Wu Dong finally got up from bed. There is no phone, no watch, no computer, no TV, and the time can only be estimated. The time after 12 o'clock is provided by the clock on the wall of Shaxian snacks. Wu Dong has not told his parents about having 5,700 yuan, which is difficult to explain. When he came, his parents insisted that he take 2,000 yuan. After deducting the expenses along the way, Wu Dong still had over 6,600 yuan left in his card, which can be considered a huge sum of money. A second-hand TV costs over 200 yuan, and a second-hand Nokia 2 that can make phone calls costs 300 yuan, but the origin of the phone is hard to say. It's impossible to buy a computer. Guangming Internet Cafe is open 24 hours a day without worrying about having nowhere to go online. Although it may be inconvenient to access the internet in an internet cafe, Wu Dong works in a network center where the performance of the Wave server is several streets ahead of that of an average computer, and he can use it freely. And to apply for broadband, you also need to apply for a landline phone first, which is troublesome. The key issue is security. It's normal for the remaining female teacher to not dare to stay. Wu Dong can easily open the wooden door at the entrance with a card, and the anti-theft door outside cannot prevent theft. Buying a computer can attract thieves. I took a look at the lottery store and found out that the ATM machine didn't open today. Wu Dong had no idea about the outcome of the game, so he made a wild guess and bought one for 10 yuan. You can't always guess correctly. It's normal to have both losses and wins. In fact, if it weren't for convenience, Wu Dongzhen wouldn't have wanted to buy at the lottery store in the community. After a while, he would have dispersed his bets when buying an electric scooter. Guangming Internet Cafe, on the left door, there is a sticker saying, "No minors allowed inside," and on the right door, there is a sticker saying, *** ice black tea, full of ice power. Beverages, Wu Dong only likes to drink one type, beer. It's not convenient to drink beer, but cola can barely make do. The internet cafes are crowded with people, and the atmosphere is mostly filled with underage people. It's still summer vacation now, so the unattended children come here. The crowded crowd is not because it's full of people, but because these children can't sit still and always run around in the internet cafe. At first glance, Legends, Warcraft, Red Alert, and CS are still the most popular ones to play. On the right side of the entrance is the bar counter. Go online and open a machine for me. The little girl at the bar is only 16 or 7 years old. She looked up at Wu Dong and said lazily, "There are 2 in the lobby and 3 in the game area. There is a 10% discount for card applications. The monitors in the lobby are all 15 inches, and the game area is 19 inches. The differences in machine configuration cannot be seen from the appearance." Wu Dong smiled and said, "Apply for a card, deposit 200, and use the machine by the window for me." 2 old heads were handed over to the little girl, who was a bit surprised. She thought Wu Dong was an occasional passerby and tentatively asked, "Do you live nearby?" "Yes, I live in the neighborhood." "Are you a teacher of the new century?" Listening to his tone being a bit vague, Wu Dong probably guessed. "Yes, I'm a new teacher. I just moved into this community today." "Oh, machine number 19 is the one by the window. Please keep this card." The little girl handed the card over with both hands. Wu Dong nodded slightly and said, "Thank you." 3 months passed, and excitement, fear, and confusion passed. Wu Dong spent 2 months readjusting to his identity, and now it seems that he is a relatively mature and stable college graduate. I have thought about everything that Guan and the future should think about. It's not difficult to make money, you can do anything with prior knowledge and foresight. Buying lottery tickets can solve economic problems but cannot change his social status. He doesn't want to continue working in the bathhouse after being reborn. Commerce and logistics have been considered by Wu Dong. It is impossible to engage in physical activities, which is laborious and involves the risk of being picked by capital. Wu Dong, a real estate developer, has also considered that the son of a migrant worker, from a teacher to a real estate tycoon, not to mention reality, would be criticized for writing novels. The methods of getting rich mentioned in the criminal law cannot be used either, as Wu Dong has a bottom line. At the beginning of his rebirth, Wu Dong wanted to completely sever ties with the past and become a thoroughly good person, but he only persisted in the slogan for half a month before removing Huang. Copy the song. No, it should be said that they are engaged in music creation. Coincidentally, Wu Dong University learned how to play the guitar and also learned how to read music in order to pursue girls. This is simple, but this thing actually relies on hype, and even a good song needs to be praised. Before Jay Cho became popular, his songs were also rejected. Looking at opportunities and emotions, this is an alternative plan in Wu Dong's planning. When he was poor and destitute in his past life, he once wrote a novel on Qidian and posted comments on Binhu. Wu Dong was preparing to return to his old business. Making money and becoming famous is not the goal, he must first catch a big fish. Writing a novel is too simple. Don't think that you can only write by memorizing the entire text. At this stage, online novels are just beginning, and readers are reading a novel. As long as your brain is big enough, whoever cares about your writing style is like a eunuch, and readers will never forget it. Accustomed to reading orthodox novels, I suddenly saw anti-clichés, and it was enough to catch my eye. In 2002, the Starting Point website did not pay for reading, did not give tips, and did not subscribe. This has nothing to do with Wu Dong, he's not here for money. To type out 1 million words in an internet cafe, it takes more than half a year to continuously increase 5,000 words per day, which is not only tiring but also too long. Writing a novel is just playing tricks, his purpose is fishing. Network administrator. Wu Dong shook his body a few times and waved at the bar counter, a bottle of cola. I want it on ice. Rebirth requires him to cross from foot baths, KTVs, and shower centers to the entertainment industry. He is just the network administrator of the art school, and to enter the entertainment industry, one needs to first find a guide. With a guide, his literary and musical creations can be accepted by the community. Wu Dong lived for half his life and deeply understood the importance of relationships. What kind of literature can be broken, what kind of painting can be broken is nonsense. How many literary giants and painters lived in poverty? First establish a reputation on the internet, then follow the announcement and appear on TV, finally, I will start my own entertainment company. And then various female celebrities will. Wu Dong sat by the window with a strange smile on her face. The little girl was a bit worried about encountering a pervert, so she cautiously approached and quickly ran away by placing the cola on the table. Noticing the little girl's shy expression, Wu Dong touched his handsome face and said, "My image is too sunny. It's a bit lackluster to hide behind the scenes." Every era has its own information dissemination platform. In 2002, there was no WeChat, no Weibo, no Moments, and no short videos, but there were Haijiao and Hupu. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Patience in Fishing, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Patience is required when fishing, for collection. Starting from this era, internet names still need to have a bit of artistic style, not as straightforward as 20 years later. Wu Dong originally thought of a Jinling loudspeaker, which was simple and crude enough, but looking at other usernames, such as, residual lotus listening to rain, autumn water admiring people, paying attention to the east wind of worries. It seems that, loudspeaker, does not conform to the trend of the times, so let's make it a whole one that conforms to the trend of the times. Jinling is full of laughter. Wudong chuckled and took a sip of cola. Get it done. Getting rich is not urgent, fishing is even less urgent. If there's a chance, just spray and enjoy yourself. If there's no chance, just browse forums and play games. It's not Wudong's personality to have no chance to force himself. In 2002, the internet had just started, and the internet was mainly in internet cafes. It would be 5 years before smartphones became popular. There were no short videos, no hot searches, and no internet popularity. The first snow of 2002, this is a song by Dao Lang in 2003. I searched around the internet. The movie did not sell well, the TV series is really good. Heaven Sword and Dragon Saber, Wind and Cloud, literally flying dagger. Well, the Heaven Sword and Dragon Saber I saw a few days ago turned out to be the 94 version. Su Yuping, Gao Yuanyuan, Zhou Haimei, Zhao Wenjue, He Rundong, and Zhao Enjuan were at the peak of their beauty. Hey, what should I spray if there's no criticism? Wudong was a bit annoyed. This year's sports industry seems to be dominated by the Chinese national football team advancing to the World Cup, and it has been over 2 months since they made it to the group stage. There is still a lot of criticism online. Chinese football, are you right about me? 1.4 billion people can't find 11 people who can play football. Wudong couldn't bear to watch anymore. I want to say a fair word. After all, he earned over 5,000 yuan by losing in the men's football team. Jinling Xiaoxiaxing. Don't be shameless. This year's men's football team deserves you. Do you know how happy you are? You have caught up with the peak of the national football team. I won't see it again in my life after defeating Neon Man 2.0 in the East Asian quarterfinals. The World Cup, this is the only time in your life that you've caught up with. You're not satisfied yet, do you want to go to heaven? I'll leave it at that. This season is the pinnacle, and even if the World Cup expands to 48 teams in the future, the Chinese national team won't be able to make it. This is just casually saying that sports programs can't stir up any waves, it's so painful to talk about. I still want to make it to the World Cup. I can't make it to the World Cup, but the head coach went first. Let's be honest, be lenient, and sit tight. It's not very interesting, it's only after 6 o'clock, and Wudong doesn't want to go back yet. Network Administrator. Wudong waved to the bar counter again. The little girl approached cautiously, but remained silent, waiting for Wudong to speak. Make a instant noodles and add a soy egg. 6 yuan. It's a little more expensive than outside, but that's the price in the internet bar. Kong Shuifu, who is 2 yuan, has disposable dishes and chopsticks. Here it's 5 yuan, and with soy egg it's 6 yuan. Okay, Wudong nodded and began preparing to find something to do. CS is Wudong's strong point. In recent years, he has been playing horse riding and slashing on desktop computers, playing King on mobile phones, and the Three Kingdoms Chronicles. After being reborn, he was busy adapting to the environment and spending every day with his parents to make up for the debts of his previous life. This was his first time playing games in an internet cafe. I don't know if I'm still good or not. I casually added a local area network, Dust 2, and this map is quite familiar. 8 on 8, is it because of youth or travel benefits? It feels like the reaction speed has increased. In 2 consecutive games, Wudong has achieved great victories on his side, and his sniper shot has made him exceptionally skilled. The instant noodles haven't arrived yet. A few children have gathered around, probably from grade 5 and 6 to grade 1 and 2. 3 people are crowded behind Wudong, and there are also children who can't squeeze in and stretch their necks to look. A few people looked at each other and said, sleeping on the trough, so accurate. Wudong collided head-on with an opponent holding a sniper rifle. Wudong jumped up and dodged a barrage of bullets from the opponent, switching his sniper rifle to Desert Eagle in the air. Pa, how did you switch so much? The network administrator came over and said, do you guys play or not? Don't affect others. You're instant noodles. Wudong put down his mouse and turned to take the instant noodles. Thank you. Seeing Wudong stop playing, several children were winking at each other, and finally one child spoke. Big brother, I just saw you sniping blindly. Yes, I saw it too. You didn't open the scope. Wudong lowered his head and blew on the instant noodles, which were still a bit hot. How old are you? You don't need to do homework, do you? I've finished all the homework. I will be on the first day of next year. My summer homework in primary school is not checked by my middle school teacher. This reason is so convincing that Wudong couldn't refute it. The trajectory of life is fixed, and Wudong doesn't want to talk nonsense with these children. When I finish eating, I'll play a game with you. If you think you have talent, I'll teach you. They must have no talent, they have been taught to be human by Wudong. Although it was summer vacation, some parents still came and there was a flurry of excitement. After 7 o'clock, the children dispersed and the internet cafe became much cleaner. Listen to music and play Shikoku military chess. Back in the day, Binfen Games was also one of the feudal lords. Almost 9 o'clock, Wudong is ready to go back. Just click on the forum and take a look. Sleeping trough, it's 121st floor now. Flipping down, all kinds of sarcasm and insults may have been deleted and not seen, probably there must be some. So many people scold me. Wudong smiled slightly. Jinling Xiaoxiao said, let me tell you a story. 3 people went to the temple to worship Bodhisattva, namely the Han people, the Neon people, and the Chinese people. After arriving at the temple, the Neon person asked, Bodhisattva, when will our Neon football win the World Cup championship? The Bodhisattva thought for a moment and answered, you will take 50 years. The Neon person cried after hearing this and said, it seems like I won't be able to see it in my lifetime. Then the person from Hangua asked, Bodhisattva, when will our football team in Hangua win the World Cup championship? The Bodhisattva thought for a long time and replied, you should take 100 years. After hearing this, the person from the cold country also cried, it seems that I won't be able to see it in my next life. Finally, it was the Chinese person's turn and he asked, Bodhisattva, I am quite pragmatic. I just want to know when the next group stage of Chinese football will be, should I be able to see it? I haven't heard the Bodhisattva's answer for a long time. He looked up at the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva cried, sample, fight me. Click on the download button in the bottom left corner of the screen, and a dialog box pops up. It takes 3 hours and 15 minutes, and a fee of 6 yuan will be deducted. At that time, the internet cafe billing software still had to be purchased with money, and this thing had loopholes. Wudong, who was already a network administrator, naturally knew about it. But in order to save a few dollars to crack the management system of internet cafes, it's too cheap. What kind of poverty is needed to be able to do it? At 9 o'clock, Wudong went out of the internet cafe and got another basket of steamed dumplings in Shaxian Snacks for 3 yuan. It is unimaginable to leave today's spending spree in the past. Wudong wandered back to 302, tomorrow I also need to buy a TV, connect to a cable, buy a phone, and by the way, I need to get a quartz clock on the wall. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Age of Agility, for collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Age of Restlessness, seeking collection, is it really a travel welfare? Of course, it is also possible that this dilapidated house is not soundproof, there is no computer, no TV, and not even a wall clock that can make a faint sound. The quiet environment makes Wudong's hearing particularly good. The young couple upstairs started to move around. The sound was crisp and pleasant, but too hasty. Wu Dong calculated for about 3 minutes. It's too fast. You should exercise more on a regular basis. Wu Dong thought for a moment and said, I'm only half an hour, and I'm not that strong. He got up and did 100 sit-ups and push-ups, but fortunately, his waist was strong enough. Married at the age of 28, divorced at the age of 32, and remained single for over 10 years. She has also been dating several girlfriends, but ultimately did not remarry. He often carries coffee and looks at the girls exercising on the playground in the office. I definitely haven't made any mistakes. Everyone loves to watch beautiful women, so this can't be considered a flaw. Wu Dong can still be considered a good person if the heavens punish his actions without punishing his heart. Wu Dong let out a long sigh and said, let's start over again. My wife still has to marry. This matter needs to be put on the agenda. The fitness upstairs has ended, and the singing downstairs has started. A middle-aged couple, the female is singing loudly, her voice is high and loud, and the male is accompanying. This has nothing to do with Wu Dong's hearing, the whole building should be able to hear it. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, you shameless person. Dare to steal food behind my mother's back. Hi. 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 Ah, 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 ah. The matter of getting married should not be rushed. When looking for a wife, one should not only look at their appearance, but also consider their personality. Wu Dong regrets forgetting his MP3 player at home. It was bought with the money he saved from his mouth during college and was once his beloved item. There are still Short Hair, Jianya, and Eternal Masterpiece songs in MP3 players. These songs are quite pleasant to listen to. There is no QR code, you need to exchange change before taking the bus. I bought a bottle of cola at the small supermarket, and now I have 7 yuan in change, 5 yuan in paper money, and 2 steel coins in my pocket. You don't need to go to the bus terminal by car. There is a bus stop across the street from the west gate of the community that connects to the city center. At this time, the bus fare is 1 yuan, or is it for the loop line? Wu Dong used to quickly understand the urban environment in this way. Loop line, 1 yuan. Passengers who transfer directly to another vehicle at the end of the journey do not need to pay any more. They can sit for 1 yuan for a day. Don't worry, it's a slow life now. I casually got on a bus without a ticket seller. This is only the second stop, and there are only 2 people on the bus. Where are we going? The driver seemed a bit strange and asked Wu Dong in dialect. Jinling dialect is relatively close to Mandarin, and Wu Dong has lived for nearly 20 years and can understand it. End point. Wu Dong is also a bit strange. This is a bus, not a minibus. The driver gave him a strange glance and didn't continue speaking seriously while driving. He didn't even look at the station sign before getting on the bus, which one came first. You don't need to pay any more when transferring midway, as long as the driver sees you coming from another car, they won't ask. There is no air conditioning in the car, and there are 2 shaking head electric fans on both sides of the roof. The current main urban area of Xinfeng County is South Street. Yesterday, the simple old man who rode 3 rounds joked with him, there are 91 streets and 71 buildings in Xinfeng County. It's just a street, actually a building. To exaggerate, this statement may have been appropriate 2,000 years ago, but there are still a few high-rise buildings on South Street today. This street is South Street, Xinfeng County Hospital, Xinfeng No. 5 Middle School, Zhou Dasheng, Jinliafu, McDonald's, KFC, Xinfeng Building, Jinling Hotel. McDonald's and KFC are located on both sides of the intersection, with Xinfeng Building above McDonald's and Xinhua Bookstore above KFC. At this time, McDonald's and KFC are considered high-end restaurants. The car continues to move forward. Jinling Hotel. Jinling Grand Hotel. Wu Dong fell into memories when he saw this sign. These past 2 years have been good. In 2005, the wave of demolition came together, and on Friday after school, the school gate was really filled with luxury cars such as Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Porsche. Probably the Porsche Cayenne has reached its peak. I haven't seen any cars like Rolls-Royce, Bentley, or even Mazda drivers come to join in the fun. There are mineral water, Red Bull, Sprite in the car. Wu Dong didn't know what he meant when he saw it. When he was having dinner with friends, a few more sociable people even asked Wu Dong to introduce them. Wu Dong looked bewildered at the time, as if it was what Lang Gu said. Lao Wu, you're still pretending, can you not know? I have a friend who only has 5,000 yuan per month, and occasionally takes it out to eat something good, buy a bag or something. Wu Dong didn't believe it. That day, he had an urgent matter and took a taxi to the city center. The taxi driver asked him if carpooling was possible. Wu Dong agreed, and 3 more girls got into the car. They saw Wu Dong's calm expression. Black silk short skirt, delivery to your door, they went to Jinling Hotel. Those girls are really beautiful, the internet celebrities in Douyin can't even compare. For many years, Wu Dong couldn't understand that he was beautiful and had a good figure. Even if he couldn't become a celebrity, he could still become an internet celebrity. Practicing physical fitness every day in school was effortless, and he was definitely dozens of times stronger than those who had beauty and long leg effects online. Wu Dong now understands. I can become popular by copying songs, I can also become popular by writing novels, and even if I create sketch cross.talk, I can still become popular. But I can make money by lying down, why do I have to sit up? Whose youth is not lost, will they regret it in the future? Will I regret it in the future? If we don't seize the opportunity when we have the foresight now, will we be willing to become a renter in the future and drive an electric scooter to collect rent every day? The car was still moving forward when Wu Dong suddenly shouted, "Master, get off at the next stop." Sleeping trough, no wonder the driver asked me where to go when getting on the car. The final destination of this car is Yanjiafen. You can tell the place by its name. It is a city village, which used to be a cemetery, but this place name has been removed in the future. Due to the need for real estate development, the future name of Yan family tomb is Spring Breeze 10 miles. Pooh, the Spring Breeze is 100 miles away, which means deceiving people from other places. Who among the locals would go there to buy a house? I walked back 2 stops, Haitian Securities. I used to open an account here, but now there are many investors coming and going in and out of the trading hall. Wu Dong stood on the street and turned his head with a contemptuous expression. Trembling, my stock god Wu Dong is about to descend. I enjoyed a high-end meal at McDonald's. It is indeed very high-end, although the taste is no different from later, the service attitude and the quality of the waiters definitely deserve the word high-end. McDonald's is coming out. Heading south at the intersection is the second-hand market where you can buy second-hand TVs, heading north is the Yigao Digital Plaza where you can assemble computers and buy mobile phones. Heading north is Sujiang Huashu, where you can open cable TV. Sitting in a rickshaw, holding a newly purchased second-hand 17-inch big butt TV, Wu Dong swayed back to the Jiangwo community. All the planned tasks have been completed. Relatively slow heating, end of this chapter. Chapter 7. Ordinary Days, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Ordinary Days, Seeking Collection, One Cannot Judge by Appearance. Yesterday, the honest old man spoke up and killed people. Today, this burly and fierce-looking young man is actually a real person. At around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the weather was still very hot, and there were not many rickshaws pulling work outside the second-hand market. Several tricycles were parked haphazardly in front of the market door, and the cyclists were hiding in the shade of trees in the distance. Wu Dong doesn't want to cause trouble, but he has no choice. I think I just finished a job. The fierce young man draped a towel over his shoulder and sat on the curb. Master, how much does it cost to go to the New Century Art School? The young man looked up expressionlessly at Wu Dong. The road is farther than yesterday, the things are heavier than yesterday, but the young man spoke at the actual price. 10 yuan. The voice was not loud and the tone was not high, but there was a hint of coldness. After speaking, he lowered his head and wiped his sweat with a towel, completely giving Wu Dong no opportunity to bargain. Attitude is very clear, don't beep, like to sit or not. It's just so tough. Of course, Wu Dong likes people who are straightforward. There is a sunshade on the front of the rickshaw, and it can be driven for a while. Wu Dong, who is sitting in the rickshaw, doesn't feel hot, although there is electric power assistance. The young man riding the bike is already sweating profusely. Wu Dong felt bored and started the conversation. Listen to the accent, master. You're not a local. The young man is from Anhui, but he has no consciousness of being from another province when he is in Jinling. Wu Dong silently mourned for Fei Fei in his heart. The two of them were of similar ages and had a good conversation. They had originally agreed to deliver Wu Dong to the West Gate, but the young man insisted on delivering him to the entrance of Unit 1. The young man felt a bit embarrassed and took the 10 yuan handed over by Wu Dong. Because we had a conversation and felt like we were friends, the young man was probably hesitating whether to give Wu Dong 2 yuan off. Even in the service industry, Chinese men will never have the idea of being inferior. They always think, don't be fooled by me now, there will always be a day when I stand out. If it were still in his past life, Wu Dong might feel that the other person was working hard and gave him an extra 2 yuan. This is not understanding human relationships and worldly wisdom. If you really do this, then let's wait for the young man to turn his face. Wu Dong didn't give much, and the young man didn't give Wu Dong a discount on the car fare. However, he had to help Wu Dong move the TV upstairs. The 17-inch TV with a big but couldn't see the stairs when walking, and it was really inconvenient for Wu Dong to carry a quartz clock alone. The young man helped Wu Dong move the TV to the door, and Wu Dong chased downstairs and handed him a bottle of cola. The two of them waved goodbye, saying that if they had a smartphone, they should add a friend now and come to him after the car and moving. It should be time to finish work now. When Wu Dong was chasing downstairs, he ran into his neighbor downstairs. Male, the one who sang, nervous, when he was beaten last night. In his 40s, he is not tall, thin, white shirt, black trousers, sandals, and wearing a pair of black framed glasses. He is gentle. Without his wife's disclosure, Wu Dong could not see that he would steal. The two passed each other, expressionless, which is the norm of urban life. In the future, the city will be like this, and the same building will not be known to each other. Even if we are operating an elevator at the same time, we can smile and nod at most. Everyone should look down at their phones to be in a normal state. Living in a building for 10 years is like a familiar face, surname, name, where you work, and who cares about that? At this point, after all, it was not 20 years later. Walking upstairs, the door to 301 was open. An elderly couple smiled at Wu Dong and said, "Look, you left a bunch of things at the door. Can I help you take a look?" The speaker was an old lady in her 60s, dressed in gray silk pajamas, with her spouse next to her, dressed in black pajamas. The old man remained silent and smiled at Wu Dong. Wu Dong smiled and leaned forward, "Thank you very much. I am a teacher at the New Century Art School. My surname is Wu, my mouth is Tian Wu, and my name is Wu Dong." Still the old lady, we're peers, and the old couple used to be teachers too. The old man added, "We used to be teachers from number 11 middle school. I taught mathematics and she taught music. My surname is Hong, and my old lady's surname is Shen." Wu Dong smiled and said, "Hello, Teacher Hong, Teacher Shen. If you need any help in the future, please call me. I'll move the things in first." At this moment, a young woman came down the stairs, whose age was difficult to judge. Between the ages of 25 and 30, she was dressed in a goose yellow sleeveless dress, sandals, and loose long hair. She had a good figure and a decent face, but her eyes were a bit flickering. Wu Dong, who was used to seeing beautiful women in school and comedy, didn't think much of it. Wu Dong turned sideways and made way for the passage downstairs. It's better not to speak up when meeting for the first time without a reason. Seeing the young woman, the old couple's eyes flashed with a hint of contempt. So, Xiao Wu, are you busy? If you need help, just speak up. The old couple closed the door. Wu Dong glanced at the young woman's back and said, I guess there may be some conflicts between the neighbors, it's not my business. Take out the key to open the door and move things into the house. A few minutes later, Wu Dong knocked on the door of room 301 and said, Teacher Hong, I'm sorry. Do you have a hammer at home? If you have any nails, give me 2. Yes, you wait. People at this age are still quite enthusiastic. In the living room 301, the balcony is filled with various flowers, making people who love life. With a TV in the room, there is a bit more popularity. Although the cable is not yet available, you can still watch CCTV1 and CCTV2 channels. Wired is necessary, CCTV5 needs to be seen. The era of Merlot is coming soon, the youth of flipping pages has returned, ha. Wu Dong didn't rush to have dinner or watch TV. When he came to school to report in the previous life, he brought 2 books. Carnegie's Weaknesses of Human Nature has a blurred impression on another book, as if it is Linux server configuration from beginner to proficient. Wu Dong did some preparation because he came to work in the network center. This time I'm empty-handed. I'm just trying to get by, it seems a bit empty. Full of warmth and lustful thoughts, this sentence is too reasonable. I think too much about the next 3 things. Just now I saw the female neighbor upstairs, and I was wondering if she was the person involved in exercising with her husband in just 3 minutes. A sin. Wu Dong pushed the door and went downstairs. This time, he didn't eat Shaxian anymore. He ordered some authentic Jinling cuisine, and Kingaju seemed to have a good taste. Although time was relatively relaxed, Wu Dong had no interest in visiting the ancient towns and gardens around him. He had visited too many times in his previous life, organized by his employer, bored by himself, and brought by relatives and friends. There are several restaurants that can be revisited in the same place and are worth trying again. Go to the lottery store first, unintentionally insert willows, and 183 yuan. Yesterday, I randomly bought 3 strings at odds of 1, 5 times, and surprisingly won for 10 yuan. It's better not to come to this lottery store in the future, winning the first time is not a good thing. Entering Qinghe residence, there are photos of the dishes hanging on the wall, which are taken very well and give me an appetite. Wu Dong thought to himself, I just earned over 70, spend it. One person, chicken tail shrimp balls, braised belly crotch, a bottle of iced beer. After eating, I went back to make a new plan. I won't go to the internet cafe today. Surprisingly so cheap, the total consumption is only 29. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. De Lang, Drinking Medicine, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Dalang, Drink Medicine, for Collection. Hey, the consumption level in this era is still really low. Wu Dong clearly remembered that the plate of chicken tail shrimp balls had been eaten in many restaurants later, and the cheapest bistro also wanted 38 servings. Today, there are 12 chicken tail shrimp balls, 11 braised pork belly crotch, and 6 raw huangdao. Wu Dong sighed and said, hey, if this continues like this, the outcome may be that people die and money is not spent. Although it's already evening, the weather is still very hot and stuffy. The reason for this feeling is because Kingaju has air conditioning. When eating, Wu Dong didn't pay attention and only realized when he came out, this boss is too conscientious. On the way back, Big Brother, come in and play. Big Brother, come in and play. Don't misunderstand, it's the children who were educated by Wu Dong yesterday. I have to pass by Guanming Internet Cafe when I go back. Wu Dong looked at the student who was preparing for the first year of junior high school. You kid doesn't have a long memory either. Didn't your mom just fix it with a broom yesterday? The other kids all burst out laughing. Ha ha ha. The boy was dissatisfied and said, today, a master came to the internet cafe. He is the most skilled CS player in our school. Do you dare to compare with him? Wu Dong shook his head helplessly and chuckled, the most powerful. Then I'm sure I can't beat it. Waving to a few children, Wu Dong strolled back. Eat and drink enough, feel refreshed and refreshed. Wu Dong huddled under a mosquito net, his thoughts wandering, I shouldn't be a salted fish anymore. I want to reap both fame and fortune. Money, beauty, reputation, and status are all indispensable. Is Wu Dong drinking too much for a bottle of chilled beer? Everyone gets drunk without getting drunk. The sadness of ordinary people lies in the fact that no major villain has brought you to the dust. Confused, life has always been like a pile of chicken feathers, always crawling at the bottom. Anyone can step on you, and once you gain power, if you want revenge, you don't know who to go to. It's time to learn how to read novels, fall in love, eat hot pot, turn tables when others pick up food, and chat when a leader picks up a cup over time. It has fallen to the bottom. Wu Dong is a drunken fool. Normally, there is nothing wrong with 10 or 8 bottles of beer, and today I don't know why it's just a restless mood. Leaning against the bedside, holding a pen in a notebook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listed many plans, each with its purpose, significance, and implementation details attached. The plan we have made cannot be seen, it's not something that people do. It's unethical and smoking. He is going to completely unleash himself. Wu Dong is still writing vigorously, and the time has unknowingly arrived at 9 p.m. Bang bang bang, this is the sound of the headboard hitting the wall. Coming again, Wu Dong is very angry. Have you considered the feeling downstairs when exercising like this upstairs? The young couple is doing aerobics upstairs. Wu Dong put down his pen, closed his eyes, and listened attentively. Anyway, it only takes 3 minutes, and it will pass with a little patience. Harmonious neighborhood relationships still need to be maintained. Listen, Wu Dong felt something was wrong while listening. The man doesn't seem to be the one from yesterday. The wall clock shows that the exercise has been ongoing for 10 minutes. Roar, 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 Wu Dong's gossip fire was raging. Who is wearing this hat with a green grassland flavor on their head? Another 5 minutes passed, and the workout was over. Wu Dong couldn't hear the sound of a rustling sound and the soft conversation between the young couple. Someone is walking upstairs, someone opened the door upstairs, someone tiptoed down the stairs outside the door. Wu Dong nodded lightly, which was in line with logic and his analysis. It can be confirmed that the old man who couldn't persist in exercising for 3 minutes yesterday is the owner of the hat. Wu Tian took out his newly purchased Nokia and set an alarm clock. In the future, wake up early and run early every day. Wake up at 6 o'clock, run to school and then come back, persist in 5 kilometers every day, wash up and have breakfast when you come back. 5 kilometers every day, keep your hat away from me. If the male host upstairs doesn't go to the gym, drink medicine, maybe it's not far from him. Although the electric fan is on, the room is still a bit stuffy. Wu Dong opened the doors and windows of the master bedroom and the second bedroom, so that the north and south were transparent, and the feeling of passing through and stuffiness disappeared a lot. The lower floors in the community are equipped with anti-theft nets, but 302 is not, as this is the school's industry. Wu Dong feels that the anti-theft net is just a psychological comfort. If he really wants to steal your door, it's better. Who would bother with that? The times are developing, and thieves are becoming increasingly lazy. After 2000, no thief would be willing to open a window and enter a house. Stealing an electric car parked outside is not much easier. Oh, I forgot to say, courage is actually related to body shape. A strong body doesn't lose out, and usually a strong man takes advantage of a smaller body. In the news, seats are occupied on trains and buses, and most of the bullies are little girls, women with children, and young people who have just entered society. It's all about watching people eat dishes and bullying the weak. With just one glance, they obediently give up their seats and dare to babble. Wudong's skin is too fair and clean, giving him a hint of being a weak scholar. In fact, he is 175 tall and weighs 135, which is not considered thin or weak. Growing up in the countryside since childhood, although I don't have high and bulging muscles, I am much stronger than those who eat protein powder. Since he had set up his fitness plan, Wudong had already gone to bed early. Around 11 o'clock, the upstairs started exercising again, this time it was 7 minutes. No hat, there is no Delang drinking medicine, all are forced by life. Wudong disagrees, but he can understand that traditional industries have been passed down for thousands of years. The supply-demand relationship determines that this industry is not easy to disappear. Is it the female neighbor I saw today? What exactly did she experience and what difficulties did she face? If I were to support her and talk to her about my feelings, would the police agree that I am here to send warmth? At 6 o'clock in the morning, the alarm woke up Wudong, who was still dreaming. A young man in his 20s is actually full of firepower. Wudong jumped up and put on a sports suit, which is his usual white T-shirt, big pants, and sports shoes. Even in summer, the temperature is not high at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is a good time for exercise and fitness. Mr. and Mrs. Hong, who are opposite door 301, are watering flowers on the balcony. They appreciate young people like Wudong who are self-disciplined. Teacher Wu, why don't you go exercise? Wudong looked up and waved at the old couple. Go for a run. It's great to be young, as light as a swallow. I don't know if it's a 40-year-old illusion or if there's really a travel benefit. Wudong felt that his various physical functions were much stronger than before. Suddenly being 20 years younger, probably everyone will have this feeling. It's really strange that my physical fitness has improved and I don't feel tired after running 5 kilometers no matter what. Wudong scratched his head and said, I lived in this community in my previous life. Although it's not the same room, I didn't think the building wasn't soundproof in the past. The physical function should have really improved. Although I didn't plan to enter the sports industry, having strong endurance is always a good thing. Let's lay the groundwork first. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Leaders and Female Colleagues, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 10. Fishing, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Fishing, for Collection. Principal Jin's car is a Passat, which costs over 200,000 yuan and is equipped by the school. The car is parked at the north gate, and the driver's name is Yao Mauer. Wudong has dealt with him before. Master Yao was a bit surprised that Wudong was very polite to him. The teachers in art schools have high self-esteem and do not look up to logistics personnel such as drivers, security guards, and chefs. Wudong watched as the vehicle left and turned before turning back to the community. The property of the school in Jiangwo community is not only scattered, but also because the room where Wudong lived in his previous life is still vacant. Principal Jin made enough money and landed safely. Yao Mauer and Wudong have mentioned that Principal Jin still has 2 properties in Zhonghai's Tangchen second class. The one who knows the leader the best is his driver. President Han's husband is a young leader of a certain bank, and in the end, both the couple fell from grace due to financial issues. It is unclear who bid out who. Director Li is a tragic figure of the times. When she was young, she was an ordinary teacher and found a worker in a steel factory. In that era, it was quite common for workers to match teachers. Times have changed, the man has been laid off, the woman has become a leader, and the two have divorced. the specific reason is that Wu Dong is not interested in inquiring, but in fact, any reason after the identity difference arises is just an excuse. Director Lee remained single until retirement, and those who were stronger than her looked down on her, and she couldn't find anyone worse than herself anymore. Wu Dong sympathizes with Director Lee's ex-husband very much. If he hasn't been reborn, he himself will be the next ex-husband. Wu Dong's prediction is good. The families of the girls studying art are all good, and all 6 female teachers have mobile phones. These people have been in the same unit as Wu Dong for over a decade, but they have met several times during New Year's Eve dinners or school-wide meetings, so they are not familiar with each other. A girl in her 20s who studies art is too ugly. 6 female college graduates who have just graduated from school will not hide their likes and dislikes. Master Yao thinks that the teachers in the school don't look down on the school workers, that's right. When Wu Dong, wearing a T-shirt, big pants, and sports shoes, and 3 well-dressed leaders appeared at the same time, several female teachers without exception regarded him as a driver. Wu Dong had the best impression of Zhao Jing because she even concealed her disdain and nodded slightly at Wu Dong. The other few basically ignored this driver. When they found out that he was not a driver but a colleague, they immediately changed their attitude. Wu Dong smiled on the surface, but in his heart, I don't have a phone, no contact information, and I didn't ask for their phone numbers. At 10:15 in the morning, Wu Dong entered Guangming Internet Cafe and was about to do some serious work. The little girl is not here today. There is a middle-aged lady at the bar, probably the little girl's mother. I turned on the machine and got a bottle of cola. Wu Dong sat in his old seat by the window again, and there were many vacant seats in the Internet Cafe this morning. After a day without coming, Wu Dong didn't expect his casually written story to be placed on the homepage of the Haijiao forum for promotion. Clicking in, he exclaimed in amazement and excitedly patted the seat. I didn't expect it, 991st floor. With over 900 reviews, Wu Dong slowly flipped through them. There is mixed praise and criticism. Those who speak well find it humorous and witty, while those who speak poorly find it far-fetched. Some people have posted similar stories saying that he is clever at picking up people's teeth and lacks creativity. Wu Dong drank a sip of cola. Say I have no creativity. Look at me making your face swollen. There's no one in this world who understands creativity better than me, Jinling Xiaoxiao. Jinling Xiaoxiao said, there are still a few days before school starts. Please take a look at my poor work. Depeng Zongheng, there are thousands of mountains and rivers in the world, and hundreds of valleys and rivers. Wherever there is heaven and earth, there are living beings. Characters, beasts, birds, reptiles, swimming fish, plants, and other forms of life are diverse and diverse. Some have taken the opposite path, but those who can achieve immortality and become another form of life are called demons. I Am a Demon. This book is not the most famous in online literature, but this is a novel that saved Starting Point paid reading. This is also Wu Dong's first fully published novel. That subscription money was really saved from the mouth. Wu Dong has read this book more than 5 times. Even if you read it 10 or 20 times, you won't be able to retell a novel worth millions of words. Yes. Wu Dong didn't plan to finish it either, as long as he could write the first 3 golden chapters roughly. The first 3 chapters of a book often leave the deepest impression on readers. Wu Dong is able to memorize 7, 7, 8, and 8, coupled with his decent writing style. The story begins relatively smoothly. Click, click, click. Approaching 12 o'clock, finish. More than 7,000 words, Depeng Zongheng finished writing at the beginning. Chapter 3, Wu Dong was developed separately. The second chapter was not finished yet, and the feedback for the first chapter came, but Wu Dong was not interested in reading it. No need. The Wandering Frog, the god of online literature, Wu Dong believes in him. After the 3 chapters have been posted, the forum has already started. Everyone is discerning, whether a book is good or not can be seen in just a few hundred words. Jinling Xiaoxiao said, I'm tired. Let's go eat first. See you tomorrow. After posting, Wu Dong is really ready to go eat. Just as he searched for the network card in his pocket for more than 10 seconds, 63 replies appeared below the post. Sleeping trough. Wu Dong was really shocked and dropped his chin. Do you want to exaggerate like this? Great deity, worship great deity. Master, keep going and don't stop. It's written so well, it's really exciting. It's amazing when you say it's written. I don't believe you wrote it on site today, I suspect you have already typed the manuscript. Don't eat anymore. If you stop here, go eat. Are you still human? There are all kinds of things to say, mainly worshipping and urging for attendance, with a very small number of people still being stubborn, but even questioning is just a suspicion that he posted his long written work. Wu Dong laughed heartily and said, netizens, society is dangerous, there are bad people online. Shut down and leave decisively. What can I have for lunch? There is a farmhouse in Leesdo, and the local pork is very good, but it's a bit hot when walking over. Spicy hot pot. Eating on hot days doesn't seem very suitable, even if you have to eat at night. Barbecue. The door hasn't opened yet at noon. Shaw County. No, it's not a standard snack. Wu Dong is going to have a big meal now. Pan's private dish, this one doesn't have much impression. It's probably closed this year. I need to feel it and see why it closed. What would you like to eat, sir? As soon as Wu Dong walked in, the landlady came over. The store is not large, with 8 small square tables on the first floor, and I don't know what it looks like on the second floor. Wu Donggang just looked up and the landlady immediately explained, there are 2 private rooms on the second floor, both of which are large tables for 10 people. If you're having a party, you can consider it. We offer discounts for regular customers. Wu Dong nodded slightly and said, the service attitude is okay. Observing, there is no air conditioning on the first floor, and there are 4 shaking head fans on the wall. Wu found a seat directly below the electric fan, and there was a menu on the table. A sausages, a scrambled egg with leeks, a bottle of snowflakes, on the rocks. End of this chapter.